Elożka ludzie, Madeleine speaking, and I try making games in Unreal. Game dev gives me a lot of joy, but it gives me even more headache. Do you also feel that way? Due to my recent I want to quit thoughts that I shared with you some time ago, I started to question if game dev is the right choice for my hobby, or if it even is my hobby. I am no expert here, I have no real knowledge how to verify it, but I want to do this exercise and I invite you to join me. Also, I share some of my game development footage in the background. So, in exploration of this topic, I read some smart articles to check what hobby even is and how to find the right one for you. I didn't really find too many articles on how to verify if your existing hobby is right for you, so I took the privilege to create such list myself. Is it valuable on any level? Nope, but I need to do it anyway, as I need to reassure myself I am not wasting my life. Or at least not too much. Bear in mind it's not my usual content and it's not supposed to be any motivational or coaching video, it's just me, trying to verify what I should do next about my game dev journey, and it might be also a useful exercise for you. So it's quite easy to find the list of benefits that hobbies give. I grouped them into 4 areas that I will comment on. This probably doesn't exhaust a topic, but it's not my goal here. Let's see how aligned it is with how I feel about my game dev, and I invite you to assess your approach to your hobby together with me. So, supposedly, hobbies have a power to make you more interesting or enrich your social life. I don't necessarily feel more interesting than I felt before I dwelled into game dev, and it definitely didn't enrich my social life or created any new bonds with others. If anything, it actually worsened it, so here's that. They say hobbies teach patience, increase confidence, teach new skills, or increase knowledge. And yes, game dev does it all for me. I still feel like I know nothing, but every day I know more, and it gives me a huge boost. And if you knew me personally, you would know that I have a huge imposter syndrome. So with every new piece of information I learn, I am actually reducing this overwhelming feeling that I am not enough. It also challenges me, which gives me a boost to move forward and be better. If I ever feel like I learned every possible thing there is to learn in a given field, I tend to get bored and unhappy. So luckily, this is not a thing with me and game dev. Something that sounds kind of obvious is that hobbies should reduce or eradicate boredom, and for me, game dev definitely falls into that description. It also teaches me how to organize my time better and how to follow some long-term plans. Thanks to it, I don't have time to waste on watching too much goofy stuff on the internet or fall into addictions. And it all happens to be also a benefit assigned to hobbies in general. What it doesn't do for me is relieve stress. It actually gives me a lot of it. And considering that I am generally a stressed person, it probably isn't the healthiest for me. Speaking of health, it's the last but not least area hobbies supposedly influence. With health, I want to comment on both physical and mental health, that we partially covered already. Hobbies should relieve stress by keeping you engaged in something you enjoy. They also prevent bad habits and wasting time. And if they are physical hobbies, they increase your health and reduce symptoms of various diseases. Or at least this is what I learned from the internet. And I can't say game dev reduces stress for me, we already covered that. It might be influencing my mental health though. Like positively influencing by increasing my confidence or by increasing my brain capacity in general as I constantly learn new stuff. Hopefully this means I will get older with a healthy brain and I will avoid memory degradation. But physically, it probably destroys my body as I have a sitting job and game dev is a sitting side project. So I will be in so much physical pain soon, I know it. Now that we know what hobby is and what it should do for you, we should also explore the reason why we do stuff. The reason you do something is the recurring theme in all of the pages I saw. Does it give you joy? Or do you have a life goal related to it? I personally cannot do the stuff just for the sake of joy and pleasure. I just can't. I am like this, and this is super exhausting. So obviously, for me, game dev is not just something I like, it's also something I plan to do professionally. Well, to be fair, I already work in game dev, so nailed that! But my ultimate goal is to have a game studio that produces beautiful and immersive games that impact players' life in some positive form. And to be honest, if it wasn't for that goal, I would probably not spend so much time developing games and growing my skills. This means that in my case, game dev is enjoyable, but it also stands as a building brick for my dream of creating game studio. This, of course, in my personal opinion, means it's not really a hobby, but an enjoyable career instead. It used to be a hobby though. To sum it up, game dev is not the healthiest hobby choice for me, considering that I also do it full-time, which will probably lead to burnout sooner or later. It also gives me a lot of stress, which is the opposite of hobby definition. On the other hand, it allows me to explore various fields, both technical and artistic, which is all I love in life. It helps me to organize my time better, and it positively challenges me every day, which reduces boredom and heals imposter syndrome. But if I am to be completely honest with myself, game dev doesn't really seem to be a healthy hobby for me. Or at least not just a hobby. It's something else. It's my way of escaping reality or creating my own. And it gives me purpose in life, which is super important and coincidentally is also a description of hobby. When I look at it now, I have to admit though that drawing is probably closer to be my hobby, like pure hobby, as it meets all of the hobby criteria and isn't related to my career plans. I don't do it as much as game dev, and I don't feel such an urge to pursue it. I simply draw when I have time and I feel like I want to relax. With game dev, it's the opposite. I make time to develop games. I think about it constantly and it's not relaxing at all. But it helps me to stay mentally stable and focused, which is a huge advantage. How about you? Is game dev your hobby, or do you do something else for pure joy while keeping game dev only as a career path? Or is it both for you, like it seems to be for me? What questions do you ask yourself to verify if you make right decision to pursue game dev, or anything else that you do? That's it for today. I know it's a totally different type of content than I usually do, but I just felt the desire to explore this topic, record it, and keep it for myself for future reference. Thank you for sticking around, you know the drill. Don't like, don't subscribe, and I see ya when I see ya. Pa-pa!